Welcome everyone to Makeover Mondays. I'm staying consistent with this every single Monday, at least for as long as I can. I'll be doing makeovers on, mannequins, or if I get a model in here. But, mannequins are so much easier just due to my schedule. I can do it when I want and get it over with. So, if this hair looks familiar to you, I want you to understand that, one, this is perfectly straight hair. And I know for a fact this is definitely more of an, an Asian type hair texture. Very, very straight, very thick. Definitely has a tendency to poke out a lot. So if you have this type of hair type, you know what I'm talking about. So the hair either needs to be a lot longer to weigh it down or a lot shorter. But in this situation, in creating some sort of, any sort of makeover, what I like to do is I like to look at the face shape. I like to figure out, brush the hair off the face, right? What does the hair look like off the face? How does it look in the face? It all really depends. And especially if somebody, or if you are looking for a makeover, then it's something you want to be different, right? You don't want the same thing. So it really depends on you. But in these videos, I'm just gonna go extreme and create something that I think would look really awesome. So I'm gonna go relatively short throughout the bottom here, the back, and I want to leave a little length and texture on top to kind of create a little more of a voluminous look right into here and take this down a bit shorter. So I'm ready to go. Let's get started. I'm going to start with my number 4 guard. This is the Wall Clipper 100th Anniversary Edition. And you can get this and all the clipper tools and things like that I use on Amazon. In the description below is my affiliate link, where all the things that I bought on Amazon and I use are there to get. So I recommend these. All right, so I'm gonna start with a number 4 guard. And I don't want this to be super, super short as far as like a skin fade or anything like that. So I'm gonna basically just take this clipper and get rid of all this hair, right? And as you can see, this is definitely thicker hair. It's like chopping through weeds. That's how thick this hair is. And a lot of times for me, I'm just looking to get rid of like all the bulk and get through this relatively quickly. I'm not spending 45 minutes trying to section hair, and I'm just looking to kind of get through all this hair as fast as I possibly can. And let me know in the comments if you've ever gone through, a bit of an extreme makeover like this, right? Or something where it's like, but you purposely wanted it. I know a lot of people get makeovers accidentally that they don't want them, but because the person cutting hair screwed up on, right? How often does that happen? I'm bringing this up to, again, get rid of as much as the bulk in this that I possibly can. Get rid of it as much as the, of the heaviness of the longer hair, and really grind through this as fast as possible. And there's going to be times in this video where I'm going to be talking, I'm not going to be talking so much. All right, so for this, I'm going to push this hair out of the way just to get down in through here, just like that. And I do want to keep this relatively lower as far as like the taper and all that, but it all depends on how much the hair, poops and sticks out on the sides. And again, this is something that you may be used to experiencing, like, oh, this is exactly my haircut. And once again, let me know down in the comments if this is, something that you have right now or that you want. Now you can see the hair is already starting to get that pokey, kind of like it's sticking out type of texture already. And that's where, you really got to take this down as short as you possibly can in those areas, right in through here. Because if you don't, once again, it's going to be too, if it's too short, or I'm sorry, not short enough, the hair is just going to stick straight out, right? So you have to make sure that the hair is long enough. or it's short enough. So for me, I'm going kind of like in between. And this does get messy, just a forewarning. It just does get a little bit messy. There's hair shooting all over the place, like if you're dodging bullets. So, you know, just watch your eyes when you're doing this, especially on thicker hair like this, straighter hair. It's like needles. Hair splinters, you have to watch for hair splinters, all that stuff. All right, so this is the number 4 guard right here. I'm gonna push the lever up. So we're actually gonna be doing like a 4.5. But I do wanna just go a little bit higher and try to get rid of as much of this hair as I possibly can before I start having to do my scissors. It's just so much easier this way. Okay. Now I like to stand in one spot when I'm cutting hair, and I just would basically, I'm moving the mannequin head around to my body position, and if this was a client sitting in a chair, I'd basically be doing the same thing, standing in one spot, and then I would be, you know, just moving the client around in the chair to make life a lot easier for me. All right, so now I'm going to, drop down to a number 3 guard just by clicking it on here. And I'm just gonna go a little bit shorter, just right down and through here. All right, now I'm gonna do a little clipper over comb in some of these areas. And I'm sorry, again, I'm keeping quiet. Just because I'm trying to just concentrate and focus here. So the thing about this clipper over comb, especially on this hair type, is you have, a little more control over this, which is why I like doing this, right? You have a little more control over it. And that's kind of what I'm looking for is, a soft way to connect all this and also be very efficient. You have to be, with thicker hair types like this, sometimes, you have to be a little more aggressive and you have to be a little more free-flowing at times, right, just to get through it a little bit faster. And also the clipper blades, because they are stronger, especially on these clippers, you're able to get through it a little bit faster too, which is why I like this. And I do, honestly, I do want to go relatively short throughout kind of like the top area and the back end through here, simply because I want to be able to create a shape that has a little more texture to it on top. Okay, now I'm going to spray this down with some water, and I'm going to use my anti-static vent brush right here just to get through the hair a little bit easier, get rid of any sort of knots. And this is purely just water. I'll probably spray some of my 25 spray in a minute just to kind of help give me a little more texture in the hair while I'm cutting. But I always use clippers on dry hair. So if you are using clippers and you are doing a lot of men's haircuts and stuff like that, do not, if you have somebody, you go into a hair salon or something and they wash your hair first, make sure that they're blow drying the bottom when they're using the clippers. If you see somebody, a professional, try to attempt to fade your hair or use clippers on damp hair, then just get out of the chair and run. Don't even attempt to get a haircut with that person, because it's really not going to work out too well in your favor, trust me. So, all right, now I'm going to take my 25 spray and I'm just going to give it a good shake, press firmly down in the hair, a couple of spritzes, and now I'm going to utilize my hair cutting comb. Okay, so now is where I start to really feel the hair, feel the shape, and I'm going to start to really create the cut, the actual cut in through here, because as far as the top, just because I'm ready to go and I know exactly what I want to do. So I have my vision already prepared, and if you are getting a hair makeover of some sort, right, you're the client, you want to make sure that you are prepared for this, right? You have some sort of vision, whether it's a photograph, right, of a haircut that you want, whether it's, that's really the best thing is having a photograph of something that you want, something that you've seen, something that you like. That's really what's most important. This way you give the professional, kind of an idea or a range of what you're looking for. So what I'm doing now, and I apologize, I know I'm wearing a black shirt. I'm going to use scissor over comb right in through here just to work this one area in. The one good thing, though, is I have a white comb. So you can thank me for that. But right now, just on this bottom layer right here, I'm working this up scissor over comb just because it's a little bit easier than trying to put myself in an awkward position with my body. And I'm just going to work up the head shape. Now, a lot of haircuts like this, especially if it's a very, very poker straight hairstyle or hair texture, it's pin straight. This is where you really, 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 really need to spend a lot of time working this magic out, right? You got to really spend a lot of time blending and cutting, wet into dry. That's what I do. Is I spend a lot of times using scissor over comb and doing all the layering and the heavy lifting, so to speak, on top, right, while the hair is damp. And then I'll go back in and do the other stuff, like more of the blending and things like that, right? Scissor over comb, blending, because when the hair is damp, it's showing one way that the hair is going to look, right? It's not true as far as the way the hair is going to lay. So you have to make sure that you're double checking this after you cut it while it's damp, because you're going to be surprised. You're like, oh, this looks beautiful. And then you dry it and you're like, whoa, look at all these lines and steps I have to blend in. And that goes for anybody, not just me. That's literally anyone who cuts hair. They have to really check all that, So, all right, so now that I'm done, at least in that one little area, it's time to work towards the top of the head. Now, I'm not a fan of these mannequin heads. I'll be 100%. I ordered these, they came internationally, let's just say that. Definitely an Asian hair type, I can tell you that. I got them from somewhere else, and they're just stitched in a very, very weird way I'm not used to. So this is not easy. However, it's very realistic to having a different hair texture. This is super pin straight, extremely thick hair, very, very heavy straight hair, which a lot of you may have. So that's why I think it's different for me, and it's good in a way, because it allows me to expand and it challenges me, right? All right, so now we're going to work our way towards the front. So I've got my guide from the previous section, and I'm going to work the center, the corners, and the sides. I'm going to work all the way down to, see, the hair's so thick I can't even see my guide. I'm going to work all the way down to the front. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I like to leave a little bit of length in the front. That's definitely way too long, but I'm going to go back in and add a lot more texture to it. So, all right, now we're going to cut the corners. Remember I said the top, the corners, and the sides? There's the corners right there. I am looking to round this out because, in my opinion, this grows out the best. As far as the haircut itself, it grows out and it looks the best. So here's that corner. Just going to cut that right there. And now I'm going to work in through the sides. And this is just really connecting the dots. That's all it is. Right? It's connecting the dots. I'm so sorry about my shirt. I have this stark white background behind me. And I stand out, but unfortunately, the haircut doesn't. All right, let's just cut that right there. Just get that out of the way. And now I'm going to do scissor over comb right in through here. And this is mostly to get the hair out of the way. Again, I'm going for that bulk, heavy-duty lifting here just to remove a lot of that excess weight. I'm checking for balance. I'm checking for any sort of, areas that need a little more cutting, a little more connecting. But once I have this blended in through here, which is what I'm looking for, then that's really going to help. And I can already see that as this dries, these corners are going to be kind of a pain. So I have to take these corners down a bit more. And this is, again, if you're somebody who has that issue where the corners in through here sticks out, you have to take it down. See how I took it down like this? So it works more into the top. A little easier. Whoa, look at all this hair. All right, let's get rid of this. Okay, so there we go. I just cut that right here. All right, now let's do the same thing that we did on the other side. Now I'm going to stand back a little bit simply because, like I mentioned, it's like dodging bullets when you're cutting hair like this. So I just want to stand back a little bit because this gets, in your eye or on your hair splinter. It's not fun. Hair splinters are not fun. I want to take this down a bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comb this hair and look at all that weight right there. That's excess weight that I want to cut right there. So let's pull this up. Here it is. Now I am going to cut this a bit shorter because I did raise the corners up and I did raise the other side in the corners. So I want to go a little bit shorter here. So I'm going to position this right here. And I'm point cutting just to create more of a softer edge. Okay, so now let's go back. Just remove some of that remaining weight throughout the top so this all connects into it. You definitely don't want to go too short in the front, because if it's too short, then you're finished. But if it's too long, then you're not going to have any sort of, there's not going to be any hair to work with. So, and the thing about this haircut and this hair texture is you got to go back in and double check and triple check. And, because the way this hair is stitched, there's so many areas that I think could need tweaking because the hair kind of hides into itself, which is that's why I'm saying these mannequin heads. I'm like, this is really interesting. I've never worked with heads like this before. So, all right, this is looking good. I am going to spray some of my tidal wave just because I do want to have a little bit of texture in the hair. And especially when the hair is that really straight texture where it's very just poker straight, you want to add texture, and tidal wave is really going to help that. So here we go. Look how awesome that is. And that's simply because of tidal wave, right? That's simply because of my tidal wave product. Let's get even a little bit closer here so you can really see this. I mean, for the hair to be that poker straight and have this texture and volume, and I'm not even done yet. Like I'm like 3/4 of the way done. So what I'm gonna do now is, and always make sure you're brushing the hair off the face, I'm going to now go and soften any sort of lines, any sort of areas that I think need to be trimmed down a bit more. And this is where, you know, the icing on the cake really happens, right? This is the, you're getting your money's worth right here, because this is the difference between a $15 haircut and a, you know, $80, $100, $200 haircut, right? And trust me, this is speaking from experience. Now, mind you, I'm a hairstylist. I'm not a barber. So I'm not booking clients every half an hour charging $35, right? We're talking $150 and up. And I usually charge, we'll spend like an hour at least, you know? So my goal is the grow out. I'm actually cutting this hair for it to grow out. And I think the biggest difference from what people have told me, you know, other, you know, my clients and things like that over the years, I say, you know, your haircuts grow out so well, and that's why they come back, because I'm like, wow, I'd see somebody, I'd say, wow, your hair looks incredible, man. It's been like 4 weeks. They're like, well, dude, this is your work. Like, you cut it, you know? So my goal is to make sure that the hair grows out looking really, really, really well. And this is how that happens. This is the stuff that really makes that happen, right? That extra effort. And people used to say, oh, why do you only cut mannequins? And I'm like, they think that they're easier. Mannequin heads are actually harder than humans. This is more of a challenge to make a mannequin head look good, trust me. This really tests your skills, especially when it comes to, you know, scissor over comb and fading and blending and all this stuff. Really, really tests your skills. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, let's just edge out this bottom here. Okay, now I'm going to texturize the top of this. So I'm going to go hold the hair up, and I'm just going to point cut like this. And what this is going to do is it's going to create some added texture, and it's going to help remove a little bit of excess weight in the hair. If there's any hair that's longer that needs to be cut down a little bit, this is going to help that. And yes, I'm totally just freehanding this. I don't advise doing this if you're not comfortable with utilizing, you know, shears like this. Even if you are a professional, this is very, very advanced. So do at your own risk, is all I can say. Now I'm going to use my thinning shears, and this is going to take it even more to the next level. So I'm twisting and chomping, twisting and chomping, twisting, chomping, and this really, really helps remove a lot of that excess weight. And this is what helps make the hair look really, really texturized throughout the ends, right? You want to have awesome looking ends where they're just like super textured, then this is how you do that. And this really is one of my favorite techniques to do. And once again, this does require skill, and it does require expertise. Once again, in order to create those styles, and I know what this does to the hair. Look at all that hair. All that hair came out. What was I going to do? Forgot what I was going to do here. All right, so now I'm just going to blow the hair out a little bit more. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get hair everywhere. And don't be surprised if, when you actually blow dry or wash your hair, that you see hair all over the place. I mean, even like looking at the floor here, there's hair everywhere. All right, let's get a little bit closer here. So this is pretty much exactly what I'm looking for. This is dry hair, okay? This is dried hair with just a little bit of tidal wave in it. As you can see, look at all the texture in this. Look at the volume, look at the flow of all of this, okay? And, once again, I didn't want this to be so extreme on the bottom length because, I'd rather it be like a more natural haircut throughout the sides. So yes, this is an extreme makeover. Definitely a good makeover Monday video. Now I'm going to get some styling product. So hold on one sec here. Got stuff all over the place. I'm going to use, so you can use any one of my styling products. Any one of my styling products. My One Clay is perfect for this. My Extreme Hold Matte Paste is perfect for this. Clutch, Pregame. I wouldn't use like the pomades or power cream or anything like that, but I am using a top secret product that I'm going to be launching in a few weeks. It's an updated new powder that I've been working on. It's top secret. Better, it's going to be better than my talc right now, the talc powder I have, which is still pretty good. But this is like another level. This is going to be one of the best ones out there. All right. And you want to make sure that, like I said, even my talc powder that I have, there's no talc in it, but it's just called talc. Okay? Make sure you let that settle in. Give it a good shake in the hair. And let's work this all the way around and look at the texture it's giving to the hair. So that's what I'm looking for, that dry kind of matte piecey texture. And you can literally go in and spike up the hair. Let's go in a side view. You can spike the hair up, especially even if you have like a cowlick of some sorts. You can work this into the style. Let's back this out a little bit. You can see. You can work this, into the style itself. So create that separation. And I think, this is an awesome hairstyle. You can tame this down a bit, right? You can tame it like I just did. You can add a little bit of texture and volume right throughout the front here. Really an awesome hairstyle that I think a great makeover, right? A great before and after, and had a lot of fun doing this. If you want to purchase any of my products, make sure you use code YouTube20 and let me know if you enjoyed this. This was a monster of a video. I hope you enjoyed watching the whole thing. Shop.TheSalonGuy.com. My scissors, my affiliate link down below from Amazon, all the tools I use. YouTube20. Use code YouTube20 at shop.TheSalonGuy.com. Let me know if you enjoyed this, because I'll do it every Monday. I'll see you soon.